Hello and welcome back to the Chatter Cave podcast, where we break down, review movies, TV shows, talk video games, and everything. Have a random conversation. I'm your host, Thomas Hughes. Then you're the lovely Hayden, aka Licola, and we continue our festive editions of the Chatter Cave podcast. Obviously, we've kicked Alex out for this week.
Yeah,
we had him for 2 weeks in a row. It's
too much.
Too much, Alex. So we thought, just two of us. Obviously, we're sticking with the films. And the sort of spooky, horror-esque type ones, but this one's more of a comedy because it's quality in the sense, if you know what I mean. Like, it's bad, but you can have a laugh at it, kind of bad. Because we're looking at a film that's basically the same concept as Krampus, just without Krampus.
Basically, the exact same plot. Kid fights with family. Kid wishes something into existence, and this thing that he wishes starts killing off the family. It's like very much the exact same, and the whole like the ending of it is without the whole like the Krampus one where it's like pulling out. It's like, oh, they're actually not reset the whole thing. This one they keep the whole it's been reset. Wake up Christmas Day. It's very similar, weirdly.
Well, you probably haven't guessed exactly what we're talking about here because, you've probably never seen this. It took me a while to find this movie. Yes. We're talking about a film called Santa Jaws. It was released to the Sci-Fi Channel in 2018 as part of their Sharknado Shark Week thing they used to do. Whereas, like, over a weekend, when a new Sharknado movie would come out, they'd basically fucking just throw loads of fucking shark movies, like a mixture of old ones but also new ones. They literally did it for like the last 2 or 3 Sharknado movies. They did like a whole like proper like thing, and loads of people literally tune in just to watch these really bad low budget shark movies to build up the last one, which would be the Sharknado film released. But yeah, obviously the concept of this is, as she says, obviously this kid basically ends up creating... Well, I'll go back to start. Basically, this kid's got a comic book called Santa Jaws, which is how this movie starts, which is kind of weird. Because it's like a really cheesy, terrible opening of like this woman tied up and Santa's like, oh, no one's going to save you. And there's like a shark in the water. Then this guy comes in like with a shotgun and he starts fighting with Santa and fucking like drop kicks Santa into the fucking water. Santa's eating, his hat's in the water, his hat goes under. Next month, the shark thing comes up with the Santa hat on, which is the big thing with the sharks. This shark's got a Santa hat. It's got fucking lights all over it. Eventually, it's got a fucking like candy cane unicorn horn. It's got bulb teeth. We'll get into that bit as it goes along. But obviously, then it's like revealed that it's just a dream. Like this kid's basically just dreaming about his comic. As he's drawing it, he's basically he's kind of imagining it as he's drawing it, which you do. You visually try and imagine something as you're doing it. I do it a lot of times when I'm writing. I'll be writing a thing and I'll be like picturing the scene in my head. I'm like, okay, this works, or I'll be picturing me going, that won't work, and change that a bit. And that's what he's kind of doing, is he's drawing this scene, and basically he gets. Oh wait, it's advertising filmmaking on my phone, but I will. It's basically gets into a fight with his family and whatnot, and he wakes up and he finds before he gets to bed he finds like a present, opens it. Inside is a little box with some German inscription on top. Again, Krampus opens it and there's a pen inside, and it's like, oh cool, a pen. I'm just gonna draw over my drawing I've got, make it a bit darker. That's really cool. My Santa Jaws looks really good now. And then in the process summons a green light in the water, which creates this Santa Jaws. And as you say, one by one, it starts hunting down and killing
anything Christmas related.
That
drawn to Christmas. It's ironic because that's the only thing that can kill it. Christmas.
Because of the shotgun and which was candy cane style in the flash in the weird daydream thing. And yeah, obviously it basically goes after everyone. And it pretty much kills everyone that knows him, apart from the elf. The elf's probably
the elf is more because
that one
he's
reference.
dressed as elf, but also because they did mention there's an elf that gets slaughtered by a shark in the car.
But it doesn't really get slaughtered in this. It kind of just gets his leg cut off by a boat, and then
he's paraplegic.
Clearly just walks on his knee, which is quite a funny scene for the fact that he's an elf. Elf's meant to be quite small.
Yeah.
So that is quite funny.
That's probably the joke.
Yeah, even if the CGI is very blatant, that it's
awful.
Cutting the legs off, and it's blatantly some guy walking on his knees.
But everything it kills, it's because it's been most Christmassy. Whether it be a stocking falling in the sea, some eggnog falling in the water,
some Christmas music. The pen, I'd say more. The
pen itself probably
is what summoned it for that bit, because maybe it's
probably because it's a Christmas gift.
True. And yeah, obviously, the whole concept then is like this kid and his friends, and then his family that's left, trying to hunt down this creature and trying to kill it in different ways. So obviously, at first they say that they're trying to do stuff, doesn't work. Realise, in the book, Christmas stuff hurts it, so we need to create Christmas stuff. So put some tinsel, wearing crossbows, like ball grenades, stuff like that, and obviously start using that against Santa Claus to kill it. And he's doing damage, but obviously to a point, then they realise, we can use the pen to damage this creature. And they try to, and to be fair, they do the right idea. Get rid of its teeth. Scribble its teeth out. Teeth actually do disappear, but it then plows into a fucking like a pillar in the water, which causes ball bulbs that have been left on the side to roll in the water for them to munch down on and create new teeth made out of ball bulbs.
Which totally wouldn't just shatter the moment it was used on anything.
And then the same idea again of, why don't we just create like a spear that impales this fucking beast? Okay. Just impaled. Do you think that worked? Nope, we've now just created a unicorn shark.
A narwhal.
A narwhal shark, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, eventually this leads to the quite a boring way of ending the creature's existence. Whoever kills the shark, gets a wish, yay. Light my book on fire. There we go. I mean, they could have been a bit more inventive with that.
Look, I'd have thought they were going to summon like main character that they created in the book. But have him fight it.
Because obviously he was imagining it from that guy's point of view at the start. Imagine if you transformed him into him.
That's what I meant. Like,
that would have been pretty cool.
That would have been a cool way of doing it that way. It's like a callback to the very start. I'm imagining him as that character, getting the girl. We can do it here and then give him the flamethrower, make him look more buffer, burn it, and then it's like more of a better conclusion. Everything gets tied up instead of just setting fire to the comic, which anyway comes back after the reset anyway.
Yeah, that's what I find that a bit weird that the comic still existed
it twice.
I still find that weird that the comic existed back in the reset timeline. That kind of felt a bit weird. Surely it would have eradicated
the comic, and it's like.
But then again, it reset it back to the day before.
So it reset it. So basically, as if that day never happened. So you wouldn't have set fire to it in the
that kind of makes sense. Then why it would be there,
but
it's still a bit shit that you have to watch it again.
Yes.
It lights it up in the moment to kill the shark, and you still have to watch him light it at the end before making the decision not to burn the pen, because he can do whatever he wants with the pen.
Possibility of look, there's going to be a sequel.
He can do whatever he wants. He can create his Russian girl that doesn't talk. Create a car that should have been a sports car. Create money.
And just leave it behind.
I mean, he was the best sort of character.
He was.
He's probably the best. He's probably the only real good character. I thought everyone else was a bit shit.
Everyone else was a bit like carbon cut, like what you would imagine in a generic Christmas film. Just put a bit of monster action into it. I think that this film, it felt more like a cheesy Christmas TV film.
Hallmark type movie.
Sharks just painted into it.
It felt like sci-fi's attempt at doing a Hallmark movie. No, these ones that you see on Channel 5 every day of the week. Or like the shitty Sky Christmas channel that they've
Or literally just the Hallmark TV channel.
It feels like one of them, but if made by the Sci-Fi Channel.
It's like they couldn't not put a shark in it. It felt like
it does work though. I think
The fact that he's just they summon it works better than it's just an actual shark with the hat on and just being some stupid and goofy thing. Where this one, it makes sense. Yes. In this world, that's what happens.
I still think it's a meh movie.
Yeah, it's definitely meh.
But it still works. I feel like because of them basically kind of attempting to jokingly make one of these movies.
I see it's a higher quality version of a shit B movie. So I say it's just
feels like a spoof of basically, as you say, these Christmas TV movies and Jaws. It feels like a spoof, or Krampus as well. Yeah. It feels like a spoof of all these three types of movies whacked into one. And I say it does actually work. It's just
it's not
it's clearly a sci-fi movie.
Really bad.
Yeah, the acting's terrible.
The acting's bland. It feels fake and stuff. Yeah,
it does feel fake. It definitely feels mediocre to below average. I don't think it's dog shit.
Oh no,
I feel like it does give a few laughs.
You can still sit through it. You can probably go, I might watch this again a few other times.
Yeah, you still can get a good chuckle out of it. I mean, we got a good little chuckle out of it. There was some funny moments in it. It did make us go, okay, it's quite funny. And there was a lot of moments of us like questioning decisions, like characters like, why is this character sitting on a bikini? Why has she not like got a top on at this point? It's meant to be Christmas.
Cold winter.
And yet she's currently, I mean, she even tries to fucking sit in she sits in like a rubber dinghy type.
Yeah.
Like, in the middle of the water. It's like,
I can see the sun, but also it looks very cold.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely the dumb blonde trope.
There's a lot of tropes.
There definitely is, yes.
Nerdy Asian psychic character.
The parents that don't believe the son, but as soon as everything starts happening, like, oh, we believe you now. Oh.
And then right at the end, it was like, it's all reset. Everything's all happy dopey now. Like we was expecting like a jokey, like he opens the Christmas like oven.
Yeah, because the reference of like, oh, who wants some of my famous cinnamon buns or whatever it is?
Cinnamon rolls.
It's like, oh, it's in the oven. Oh, I'll get it. Okay, go on then.
But he just doesn't get it.
No, he doesn't even bother. He goes, oh, I forgot something.
I forgot to go give this comic book to this random girl who doesn't remember me anymore.
But is now going to go out with me for a nice ice cream.
Almost like all that character development they had together stayed over, even though it's completely reset, and the only time she saw him is in English. I think it would have been cool if, by accident, like, certain people remember, maybe. He seems to remember.
And so he definitely remembers what happened.
Yeah. I think it would have been better if everyone remembered. Then they'd all learned. I mean, like, in this one, it's more of like, everyone's just been reset to how it was before. No one's learned anything except for him. He's the only one that's learned something. I think it would be better if everyone learned something, because they all had some kind of problem. I mean, obviously, the older brother is most definitely this bully jock thing. And he had that moment where he was like, with the psychic character. And it was like, oh, I stereotype you sometimes, you stereotype us. And there's a whole, it would be fine if they all kept the character then, but they're all be reset to, hey, where was you nerd? geeking over comic books. I mean, a bit of character development would have been better. Yeah. Whereas this one was just reset. A happy ending.
Oh, happy Christmas. Yeah. It's a happy ending. It's Christmas. Christmas!
Yeah, it's... The concept is math, but it works. But there are some moments where they just completely drop the ball. Those jingle balls.
I mean, let's talk about the shark.
Yeah.
Let's go to the shark here. Let's talk about the shark for a minute.
The CGI for the shark is
actually not terrible. Yeah. It's cartoony, which you said and you point out on watching works for this movie for the fact that it's meant to be a comic book strip, so it feels like it's very cartoony, comic booky. So it does work, but obviously, realistically, it's just bad CGI.
Yeah.
But it's not terrible CGI. I mean, I've seen 100% worse in shark movies or movies in general, and it works for this. It's not bad. It's not great, but as you said, the cartoony look works in favour of the shark's origin, which is comic book.
Yes.
Obviously, as well, they use practical shark fin for every time they see the shark with a Santa hat on top. That's always a practical fin going through the water, which is a nice little touch. I do like when it does get modified. I think the modifiers are quite funny. Like as I said, the Christmas lights around him. That's quite just that magically stay lit up with no electric source. I like to think they're attached to a plug somewhere. There's like a massive cable of Christmas lights. There's a plug somewhere. Like I like to think at some point when it's like it's meant to get someone, it can't go any further because it's too plugged in. Obviously, as I said, the bulb teeth are interesting because different colours teeth.
Yeah.
And on top of it, the fucking unicorn candy cane horn, which is an interesting addition. But the biggest thing about it is probably the Santa hat on the fin.
Definitely.
It's a basic concept, put Santa hat on it, but it's quite funny. Like you've also got the jingling of the bells every time it like comes near. So replacing the classic sort of shark.
Ding ding ding. Yeah.
It's just a bell jingling as it's going along, which it's pretty funny. It's like, oh no, where is it? Where is it? Because I feel like with the Jaws one, you can't obviously as an audience you can hear the durden, but as characters in the film, you wouldn't hear the durden. Yeah, but
it's non-dialectic. Whereas for this
they actually can hear the bells coming, so they can go, okay, there it is. There's the shark. Let's deal with it. But yeah, I think it's an interesting idea. How they develop. I like it. Actually got development the shark did for to evolve it into a bigger, more dominant threat to him, like a more killing machine. Because now it's got a horn to basically, as shown with the older son, just impale. Which is, a useful thing. It kind of reminds me of the game Maneater, where you can just like modify a shark, like make him basically this really OP megalodon motherfucker. It kind of reminds me of that, but specifically the DLC when it can like have laser beams and shit like that. Still need to play that DLC. I still need to play that DLC. Just so I can have a fucking laser beam shooting shark. It feels like that sort of concept, but Christmassy. Let's say it is definitely a lesser Krampus. I think Krampus is a better movie just because
Krampus got more high quality. And the story's at least a little bit better, and the acting obviously a lot more better because it's proper. Yeah. A-list actors.
Obviously, the practical effects are really good in here. Even the digital effects in that are a lot better, and obviously the ending is a bit more open. Yes. Like, it's like, oh, how does this work? Whereas there's
a bittersweet twist. The Grinch. The Krampus one, but for this one, it's more like. Everything's all happy. There's nothing like that little.
The sinister bit
is dark twist to it.
The dark twist is probably just the pen at the end, because you can hear the music sort of changing.
He's like,
can't you?
He's kept the pen.
You can hear the music shift change. I mean, technically speaking, they even use some of the same tunes that Krampus uses. That one song which I said to you, I was like, that is literally part of the Krampus like movie, and they're utilising it for this. So yeah, it's definitely a lesser Krampus, but it's still probably better than some of these fucking cheesy ass TV Christmas movies. Yeah, I would honestly probably watch this a lot more because the action's probably about the same, but at least this is something interesting. It's not the idea of my love, I'm after my one sweet love. I mean, this is a fucking shark attacking people at Christmas. I mean, there is some moments when
some family drama.
There is some questionable moments. I mean, you pointed it out, and I even pointed it out when we was watching it. I was like, "Wait, what?" But it's basically when they find out everything's going on. The mom and dad go back to the restaurant because obviously they own a restaurant. The mom picks up the phone and calls the police. So that's like, "Oh, there's a shark in the water. It's killing my family. It's yada yada yada." And obviously, on the end of the phone, you can clearly hear a woman speaking back, going, "Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am," and then. She hangs up, and before she hangs up, the dad said, "It's fair." The dad,
he's not hearing.
Yeah, so he might think he's picks agenda. He's not really going to say. He's like, "What's he saying? What's he saying?" And then when she hangs up the phone, the mum moves the phone. It's like, he hung up. It's very blatantly a woman's voice going, "Ma'am, ma'am, I need you to calm down." And she's basically just going, "Yeah, this dude just hung up on me."
Very feminine dude.
This very feminine dude has hung up on me. But yeah, there's some questionable things like that make you go, okay, that's very blatantly. You can tell how cheap this movie is, like for the fact that they probably scripted that right, but then whoever edited it probably edited the wrong voice into it.
Or possibly when they casting somebody, the casting person just put like 911 caller.
Yeah, and obviously they've just gone male, and then whoever's done the fucking put the voice in has put basically not really focused on what the rest of the dialogue around is saying, and it's just gone, there we go, done, carry on.
That they've recorded a woman doing it, and they just didn't know.
Yeah, because obviously that call would have been posted, obviously post, because they're not going to really have someone doing it. The only film I can think of where they did actually have someone like that is on the Black Phone, with Ethan Hawke, when they actually had the kids talking on the phone. When he's actually on the phone, he's actually on the phone. Like behind like the set, they actually had obviously the ones who were talking to him on the phone, talking to him, like so he could actually bounce off rather than just picking up the phone and like talking to no one. He actually had someone to talk to. Whereas this, obviously, it wouldn't be. It'd be blatantly be just her talking to no one on the phone, and then them going, okay, let's just edit in a voice here, and obviously they clearly edited in a female voice and acknowledged it as a man.
I think it would have been better if we could actually cut to the caller and she'd be like, you see her reaction to like, instead of like, oh, you hung up, quite clearly from what she was saying as well though, she wasn't hanging up, she was asking her to speak, like to calm down and speak clearly. Because then she put down.
This is like emergency service number, man. Like it would have been funny that she didn't actually hang up. She's like, he hung up on me. Wait, you couldn't even hear it on the phone. Like, wait, I didn't hang up. I'm still here. I'm not a dude, ma'am. She hung up on me.
I would like to have at least seen that, like the caller's reaction, because then you can have them go comic. Just for emergencies, you can go, stupid fucking prank callers.
This dude on the other end of the phone, stupid prank caller. Oh, but yeah, it's just it's watchable. It's just not the greatest film you're ever gonna watch out there. It's not the best Christmas movie out there.
Definitely.
But it's something I recommend checking out if you can manage to get your hands on it. I mean, I say I struggled. I've been wanting to watch this film since they basically released it. I kept seeing clips of it. I was like, this film seems like it's a bit up my alley. Like, it's probably going to be shit. Or meh. But I kind of want to watch it just for the concept. And it's literally taken me, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 4 years to try and get a copy of this to watch. It's took me a long time to try and get this.
But you got it?
But I managed to get it, managed to watch it, and we're reviewing it right now. And, it's something.
It's something.
The kills are most of them are off screen.
Yes.
There's
not a lot of gore.
No.
There's a little bit of the elf and the mom. I'd say, and probably the impalement.
I think the mom the biggest because there was a lot of focus on it. Because the
more
impalement was
slower.
Quick. It was over. The leg one, you saw the legs floating, but it still wasn't gore. But the mom, I say, was probably the most brutal for the fact that obviously it takes her off screen and you think, oh, it's another off-screen kill. But then it zooms in on it, munch, and it's her sitting her screaming, and you see the blood in her mouth dripping out.
That's the only really big.
I think that's probably the goriest kill there, and it's pretty much like the sort of best kill because I mean you look when you look at it, obviously you're sort of expecting it to just drag her in the water, but it doesn't. It sort of lands properly and takes her out that way. But I mean, I do like the shark death. When obviously fucking the way to try and kill it is through turkeys stuffed with fucking gunpowder. Obviously they got this catapult system. They're flinging. They got 3 turkeys. It's obvious the third one's gonna be the one that works in some sort of way. So they fire 2, miss completely. Fire the third one, it breaks and sort of falls. That's when the son gets killed. But it's obviously when it pops up the water, the turkey, because the dad gets killed. Because for some reason the dad, again, another questionable choice. I'm saying here, the dad just randomly goes and jumps in the water to save his son, even though he saw his son just get impaled for the chest with a massive fucking candy cane. Decides to go in the water and look around like he's searching for his son. Like, where is he going? And then when he sees a shark, try and get out the water and die. But I'd say then the turkey, that's really questionable if why he did that, but But then the turkey comes up and obviously the younger son's like, stand back, mom, fucking shoots it, go flying back. And it's like the classic sort of Jaws floating shark down, obviously, but instead of like chunks of shark and whatnot, you see the shark itself with like a very sort of operatic like sort of thing as it's floating down, and you're like, oh, it's dead, but obviously carrying on, so you're kind of like, I don't think it's dead. I think it's a bit too easy of a kill. I mean, they're fucking speared it. They've fucking done everything to it, and it's very easy, like, to take it out that way. It's obviously going to come up and get the mom, but I mean, some of the like the cuts. I mean, that one spear throw, which when it's obviously she does like a proper spear throw. You're like, oh, that's cool. But then when it cuts to the actual water where it's happening, this, as you said, spear clearly lands sideways and somehow hits the shark. It's just like, what? How?
Oh, there's like a lot of questionable moments, like the fact that this mom has seen a shark, Christmas fucking bulbul teeth, a narwhal tough horn, and she still doesn't believe it's because of the comic book, the pen he drew it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, it's just a pen. We can't bring them back. Blah blah blah. But you've literally just seen.
Yeah, because obviously his idea is to draw the family back to life. Yeah. Draw everyone that the sharks kill back to life. Probably except the elf, because
Oh, about a poor elf.
Probably forget about him.
Yeah.
Obviously that's the plan, but obviously the mom's sort of been.
I got back to that would have been better. The idea of if he drawn him as his like OC character, kills the shark, and then he draws his family back. That way, there's still
and they all appear in front of him as he's the big grown up, and then he sort of transitions back into the young kid, and then they're all like being happy and Larry, and then it cuts to the next day, and then they're having this Christmas get together.
But everyone remembers.
Yeah,
there's a lot more.
That would have been, yes, I agree. That would have been a much better ending.
Instead of just the classic reset.
That would have been a much better ending. I agree with you there massively.
It still would have been goofy.
Yeah, it still would have been fucking stupid, but it would have been a really fun, action-packed like ending of him fighting this shark.
Yeah.
And
a good callback to the action-packed at the start.
Yeah, because he also could have made a really shitty pun. I mean,
yes,
they've been making puns the entire movie thanks to the sidekick characters making these really terrible puns. Great t-shirt, by the way. But it would have been like a really like Christmas stupid ass pun at the end, like I don't know. Time for you to sing Silent Night, bitch, to the shark or something crappy like that.
That these fucking holes. Ho 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 ho! You son of a bitch.
Yes, because I think it could have been a callback to Jaws for the fact that I pointed out to you the end credits, the Santa Jaws title, the Jaws part of it is literally just a white version of the red Jaws logo. And I think you said the Santa Claus kind of reminds you of the like Santa Claus in Tim Allen Santa Claus. Whereas the picture obviously on the actual poster looks more like a comic book. The poster is literally the comic book. Yeah, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they could have done like some cheesy ass fucking pun.
Yes, they could have.
And end it that way proper. But nope, they just went the route of let's reset it.
Yeah. I guess
works for the movie, but and probably for the budget, but
probably mostly the budget.
Yeah, but the more fun and obviously runtime. It's only runtime is just under an hour and a half. So if you dragged it any longer, then it would have been too long. But still, it would have been
They could have I think they could have skipped the mom's death, not have the mom die. Do that there.
Like she sees it happen.
Like instead of the mom arguing over the pen, she agrees.
She just do it, and it happens. Yes, that would have been such a better ending. 100%.
Yeah, we'll leave the gory end, but you could do more gore with the shark
death. Exactly. Anything else you can think of?
That's pretty much it. We've talked about most.
So it's a bit different.
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
Not a typical Christmas film. It's definitely not a typical shark film. Because there's the magic side of it, the whole drawing and stuff. It's pretty unique compared to most other ones, which is it's the real world, it's a normal shark, but somehow it's trapped in a tornado, or somehow it's going 3 heads, or somehow
Yeah.
or we've genetically engineered a fucking orca wolf thing. But with this one, it's more it's the pen. He's literally got the magic in it into Christmas, and there's the whole Germanic connection to it. It makes more sense, at least, how the shark exists.
Yeah.
Like it probably would even be even more goofy and just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
If it's a normal shark, it just happened to have a hat that always stays there.
Exactly.
But with the magical side, the more superstition side, it helps it in its favour.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rate this for Mama Jamma.
Yes, we shall.
I'm debating internally here. So I know where it is personally. It's somewhere between 4 and 5. I don't think it's any worse than like a 4 out of 10.
Definitely.
I feel
it's
like
generic, but it's got a little bit to it that adds a bit of spice.
Internally.
It's a bit pumpkin, a bit of cinnamon spice.
I'm internally trying to debate this now in my head. I'm like, I'm somewhere between 4.5 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to get a 5 because 5 is a bit mediocre. I think it's because the really bad acting does drag it a little bit. But you know what? I'm gonna give this movie a 4.7 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 5. If you want, because if you think about it, to me, 6 is generic, run of the mill. 5 is just below.
6 is above average.
I see 6 as generic.
5 I see as average. 4 is is below average.
Depends on how you
see it. That's how I worked it out. I say we used to work it out.
I've always done.
No, I say you worked it before. When we did yours too.
Really?
I said it's above average. It's just 6, and you were like, I agree, it's above average, 6. And same with Jaws 3D. We worked the idea of below average was 4.
Too many tens.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go 5 as well. Fuck it.
5.
Fuck it.
Also, that makes our average easier.
I mean, it's definitely not doing it on purpose. That's an internal debate. So if you're going 5, I'm going 5. As I say, it's mediocre.
Yeah.
It's watchable. And it does its job.
It still makes it better than. Still makes Jaws 2 better than it.
As I say, it's just like such an internal struggle then to try and narrow that down because, as I say, so it's meh. That's how
it's meh, but like I said, there's a bit of spice to it.
That's how I actually explain my own rating system.
Yeah, okay.
10 was pure perfection. 9 was amazing. 8 was great. 7 entertaining. 6 potential with room for improvement. 5 was meh.
It was meh for me.
4 is below average. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's below average because the concept is actually interesting.
The concept is interesting. Like I say, it's meh.
And 1 to 3 was shit.
That nice bit of spice to it. With the magic side and that.
So both
there were some problems to it,
yes.
And we've said ways they could have fixed it. But it's still using the concepts that they've created. So I'd say at least it's meh with that little bit of touch. Nice bit of spice.
So both agreeing with 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Well, both of us giving it a 5 then gives it the Chat Cave. Santa Jaws, the Chat Cave overall rating of 5 out of 10. I won't really give an MVP for this film, really. I mean, the comic book guy was a bit funny, but no character really.
There's a name, Georgia, for having to stand in a bikini in the cold Christmas weather.
No one really stood out for me in this movie. So, I mean, sometimes even in bad films, there's like a character that heavily stands out, but the character only slightly stands out above everyone else.
He's got the comic side, but he's still a little bit bland.
There's still no personality really in him.
A lot of them are very.
So, for the first time, there's not a MVP or runner-up.
The pen. The pen, the MVP.
The shark.
The shark.
The shark having the balls to be this festive motherfucker.
The evil Santa at the start.
Ho, ho, ho.
The fucking... His balls on the bells.
Ding, ding, ding.
Get kicked the balls. It doesn't work anymore.
Nah. MVP. Whoever thought of this kooky concept?
Yeah, the writer.
The writer. I don't know how I'm going to put like an image for this. Just
yeah, the credit. It's like the name and the credit.
Bang. That's, nah, but we'll skip the... There'll be no MVP or runner-up for this one because no character. The characters weren't great. They were...
The elf character.
They were just They were just characters. That was it.
Yeah.
Some films, even if they're shit, have good characters
the
still
MVP
within it.
Is the concept. That's it.
Yeah. So there won't be any thing on the screen popping up.
Yeah.
We'll just acknowledge. No, I do. Concept MVP. There we go. Simple. So then there's no run-up then. No run-up unless we give it Santa Jaws.
The comic.
So no run-up then. Okay. Favorite moments.
Me. It's when they're trying like get the pen off the comic book guy, and he runs off, and you can see him in the background trying to get into the like car, the wrong car, and you can see him in the background trying to run off.
You mean what I pointed out?
Yeah, I like that the way they've done that. Like they're like, "Not coming back, is he?"
He's clearly outside throwing the keys. You know what? We don't usually basically have the same sort of ones. There's only a few films here and there we have the same ones, but I agree.
There's not much for good scenes. So...
Some of the shark scenes are pretty cool, which I did enjoy, but I agree with that because that's the bit that did make me laugh. Because like, they're like, he's not coming back, and I was like, he's clearly like right behind them, trying to fucking get rid of the car keys and whatnot. So yeah, I'd say
we always like those scenes where stuff happening in the background. This is the one where instead of horror in the background, it's comedy.
Yeah, I agree. It's the comic book guy trying to escape. Okay. That. Oh, question.
Yes. Question. Do you want to see alligator?
Alligator jaws. Would you like to see more of these dumbass concepts? Like this. Would you like to see sci-fi do more festive? Like,
or maybe a sequel. So you still got the pen.
Yeah, but where would you think?
Or a spin-off where you just see all the stuff the comic book guy created.
Yeah. Would you like to see sci-fi attempt more festive sci-fi movies? So obviously, they're going to do low-budget films, but would you like to see them attempt another festive attempt like this? Like something that shouldn't work, but kind of does. Or would you like to see them attempt...
Rudolph's Revenge.
Like Santa Jaws Strikes Back. Like something stupid.
Very interesting. Like even if it's set in the same world as well, you can go with different like creatures and different festive things. Like it can't help but create these like comics and keeps bringing them to life by accident.
Easter Gator. It's gotta get with bunny ears. So you want to see them expand this universe more with other stupid ass concepts?
Oh, it would be interesting.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I think that covers everything. That's it for the Chatter Cave podcast. Obviously, we've got one more festive review before we do end of the year thing. Obviously, I've been blatantly wearing a nod to what's coming next. It's Gremlins. We're doing Gremlins next. That's the final review of the year is Gremlins.
Yes, next.
Yes, definitely not recorded out of order. But yeah, one thing I always keep forgetting to say is if you've seen what we've spoke about, in this case, Santa Jaws, put your thoughts on the film in the comments below. Obviously, you can check out the other festive ones we've done over the years, not just reviews, video games,
and other
gameplays. Ones. We've also done a few shark ones, yes. And we've got 2 Australian ones coming up soon, which are less CGI and more nature shots, which is a bit interesting. There's a few CGI shots in them, but they're not heavy. So yeah, obviously you can check the podcast out on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube itself. You can check out all our old ones. This is like episode fucking like Oh, what are we on now? Oh, fucking hell. It's been going a while. I made a mistake while editing the other day, and I put the name down of what the episode number was, and I was about 20 episodes off. Like, that's how much further. So this was the 55. This one is. I remember putting like 43 for the last one. And I was like, wait, no, we're fucking like, yeah, we're 55. So you got 54 other podcasts you can sit through. A couple festive, a couple not. I say a couple not, a lot not, because you only got a month for being able to do festive ones. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed, and we hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Bye.